Listen up. There's a darkness and solitude that most people shy away from. But I'm telling you right now, that's where true power lies. When you're by yourself, there's no one to blame but you. No distractions, no comforts, just you and your raw, unfiltered mind. That's where you discover who you truly are. People fear being alone because it forces them to confront their demons. But those demons, they're not here to haunt you. They're here to shape you into something unstoppable. In the silence, in the stillness of being alone, that's when the battle starts. And if you want to become a savage, you've got to embrace that fight. When you're alone, you hear that voice in your head, the one telling you you're not good enough, that you're not strong enough. But let me tell you something. That voice is full of lies. That voice is your enemy, and it's up to you to hunt it down and obliterate it. You do that by pushing yourself to the limit, mentally, physically, spiritually, every single day. Don't just sit with the pain. Own it. Feel it. Let it hurt. Let it cut deep. And then get up and keep moving forward. Because when you're alone, there's no one else to lift you up. You become your own hero, your own savior. That's where real strength is forged. Most people surround themselves with others to drown out that voice, to avoid facing the harsh truths about who they really are. But not you. You're different. You don't need the noise. You don't need the approval. You thrive in the dark because you know, in the end, it's you versus you. And when you win that battle, nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop you. So embrace the loneliness, seek it, use it as fuel. Because when you master the art of being alone, when you've conquered your own mind, there's nothing in this world that can break you. Here's the hard truth. The world is filled with weak minds who need constant validation, who rely on others to tell them they're on the right track, but not you. You're not here for a pat on the back or some meaningless participation trophy. You're here to dominate, to crush your goals, to shatter every limitation you've ever placed on yourself. And that takes a level of focus and discipline most people can't even comprehend. When you're alone, you're forced to confront reality. And reality doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care if you're exhausted, afraid, or drowning in doubt. Reality is ruthless. It will chew you up and spit you out if you let it. But when you embrace solitude, you learn to face that reality head on. You don't just survive in it, you thrive. You welcome the struggle, the suffering, because that's where transformation happens. People will try to tell you that being alone is a weakness, that you need a team, a tribe. But let me tell you something. They're wrong. Being alone isn't a weakness. It's your greatest weapon. In solitude, there are no distractions, no safety nets, no one to soften the blow. Everything gets stripped away, and what's left? Pure, undiluted drive. In those quiet moments when it's just you and your thoughts, you become unstoppable. When you're alone, there's no one to answer to but yourself. And that's both terrifying and liberating. It means you hold all the power. You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. Every choice, every action, it's on you. There's no one to lean on, no one to blame. But here's the truth. That also means there's no one to hold you back. No one telling you to slow down. No one watering down your ambition. You can push as hard as you want, as far as you want, and there is no ceiling to what you can accomplish. That is the power of solitude. It makes you free. Free to become the most relentless, focused, and unstoppable version of yourself. So when the world tells you to seek comfort in others, turn your back and walk the other way. When they say, you can't do it alone, prove them wrong. Show them that solitude isn't your enemy. It's your greatest advantage. It's where you find your edge, where you sharpen it, where you forge yourself into the weapon you need to be. Because in the end, the real battle, it's won in the mind. And when you've spent enough time alone, facing your thoughts, pushing through the darkness, you'll emerge stronger, sharper, and more dangerous than ever. The world won't know what hit it, because you don't see solitude as a curse. You see it for what it truly is, a gift. But only if you're strong enough to accept it. Most people run from it, terrified of what they'll find in the silence. But not you. You know the silence is where the real work happens, where you strip away the excuses, the weakness, the doubt, where you break yourself down and build yourself back up, brick by brick, until all that remains is unshakable, unbreakable strength. And once you've spent enough time alone, you start seeing the world differently. You realize the noise, the distractions, the opinions of others. They're nothing, just static in the background. They have no power over you unless you allow them to. You've become immune to the nonsense because you've learned to listen to the only voice that truly matters, your own. There's a clarity that comes from solitude, a vision sharpened by the fire of isolation. Your goals come into focus, your path becomes undeniable, and you'll do whatever it takes to reach it. Because once you've stood alone, truly alone, you've already faced the worst. And nothing out there will ever compare to the battles you fought within your own mind. Make no mistake, being alone doesn't mean being lonely. There's a difference, a massive one. Loneliness is for the weak, for those who can't handle the weight of their own existence. But you thrive in it. You've turned solitude into a weapon, into a source of power that most people will never understand. So when the world tries to tell you that you need others to succeed, you laugh because you know the truth. The only person you truly need is the one staring back at you in the mirror. That's the one who will push you when no one else will. That's the one who will keep you going when everyone else quits. That's the one who will drag you across the finish line, no matter what it takes. In the end, the power of solitude is the power to be unstoppable. It's the power to take control of your life, to carve out your destiny, to forge yourself into something greater than you ever thought possible. It's the power to look fear dead in the eye and say, I'm not afraid of you, because I've already battled worse in the silence of my own mind. So embrace the darkness, embrace the solitude. Let it mold you. Let it sharpen you. Let it turn you into a warrior who fears nothing and no one. Because when you've mastered the art of being alone, there is nothing in this world that can stand in your way.